Dear Feminists, while it's certainly laudable that some feminist groups have created a small number of resources for male victims of sexual, domestic, and intimate partner violence, there is an overwhelming disparity in the amount of crisis resources available to male victims when compared to female victims. In Canada, as of 2014, there were 627 domestic violence crisis shelters available to female victims, and in about 3 years of research, I've found evidence of 2 shelters offering 16 beds to male victims. And that's in the entirety of Canada. One is in Strathmore, Alberta, which is an hour from the closest urban center, and the other is in Winnipeg, which is basically the ass end of frozen nowhere. No shelters for male victims currently exist in any of the other provinces that I've been able to account for. To add insult to injury, the feminist nonprofit organization that oversees all domestic violence crisis shelters in Alberta, the Alberta Council for Women's Shelters, still uses a blatantly sexist version of the Duluth model power and control wheel, in which men are positioned as the only possible aggressors and abusers. This continues in the face of government data showing that male victims currently outnumber female victims in Canada, and for the 15 years prior to that, there was gender parity in domestic violence victimization. Feminist groups in the UK have been explicitly budgeted money in order to offer crisis services to male victims, and they've refused to do so in the past. When that money was taken from their budgets and reallocated to groups that would offer those services to male victims, the feminist groups in question have protested publicly as though their budgets for female victims were being tampered with, when no such thing was the case. So while access to a 24-hour toll-free number is a nice touch, it isn't the same as having the ability to get free of an abusive situation, knowing that there are resources available to assist you. It certainly doesn't change the sick reality that almost all male victims fleeing an abusive situation are forced to access homeless shelters. And for all the feminists who've spent this entire time complaining that I just don't understand feminism, let me sum up. Talk minus action equals 0, in the words of the amazing punk band DOA. Do you have questions, concerns, comments, or inexplicable hatred? Use the comment section below, or find me on Facebook and Twitter. Or don't, because you're welcome to disagree.